And
My name is Greg Baldwin. I'm from Weirton, and I moved here from Arizona about 5-6 years ago, and I just learned about this, and so I'm rather ignorant about it. But the initial blush I have on the thing is how it doesn't seem to make common sense to have one district way out in the northern part of the area versus back east. What's the rationale behind this? I mean, it sounds like a tough sell, or in Arizona would follow politics as usual. Maybe I'm a bit skeptical over the years.
which district are you referring to?
The first district,
Of senatorial? Or are you talking about congressional?
congressional district.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, one's way up north and one's far east. They want to share a representative. That was my impression. And I find that hard.
The other thing I see is a propensity to end up rounding down instead of rounding up. The actual numbers in the state of West Virginia are 1,852,994, which is a whole lot closer to 1.853 than it is 1.852. Before I came here, I ended up spending some time with my 10-year-old neighbor, and we ended up playing a game. And the game we ended up playing was congressional districts. And the way we put the game together was this. I gave them the rules, plus or minus 1%. Here are the numbers. Make it work. My 10-year-old neighbor said, there's only one solution. You take Mason County, and you end up moving it down into congressional 3. All right? And based on the way the legislation is currently written, that seems to be the only logical solution. There's been a lot of discussion right now about taking Congressional District 1 and bringing the Eastern Panhandle into it. All right? That's an extremely complicated solution for an extremely simple problem. And I think that many of the people in this room would end up feeling that we're back to politics as usual if that were indeed
Yes, sir.
the solution. Okay?
I'm Rob Barker, I live outside of Williams here in Ohio County. On the congressional districts, you can, like Dolph said, first congressional district is almost exactly 1/3 of the state population, the old District 1. So there's not really a serious need to change, but if we were going to change, I would rotate the eastern part of the state back out of it and move down along the Ohio River for District 1 instead of moving east. I love Eastern Panhandle, but we have nothing in common with them. We have a lot more in common with Jackson County, Mason County down through there. We're along the Ohio River, we're industrial counties, and they're not. If you want to rotate, then you can rotate District 1 up through the Eastern Panhandle, District 3 up that way. Get the mountain state counties together. But I really, District 1, really, Congressional District 1 is already the right size. The other two are wrong. One's got too big and the other one's too small.
Greetings, my name's Thornton Cooper. I live in South Charleston, and redistricting is my thing. Every year, past 3 censuses, I've tried to come up with the closest plan in the state. And at the meeting in Martinsburg last week, I submitted 3 different, very close numerically plans for the congressional districts. And I plan to submit 2 more. Now, one of those has gone through the redistricting office, and so I was authorized to go ahead and release it. So I would like to turn that into Senator Runner. It's one of the 3 I handed in last week. But this actually has it in, if anybody wants to look at the copies, that has it in color showing the 3 congressional, Cooper Scenario 1. Cooper Scenarios 2 and 3 have not yet been sent to the sponsor. So I strongly disagree with having Kanawha County and the Eastern Panhandle put in the same. Even if it makes the numbers easy, it's not fair to people in the Eastern Panhandle to have a district that goes all the way from Charlestown to Point Pleasant. that to me was the worst gerrymander in the history of the state of West Virginia, and there's several ways you can fix it, but we should not keep that, even if it may be easy to switch Mason or something. That doesn't mean it is a compact district. With respect to the senatorial districts, I also in the last meeting submitted a very close plan to divide the 17 senatorial districts of the state. The optimal number is 109,000 to 6 significant digits, and most of my districts were very close to 109,000. The two districts in the eastern part of the state that I created were a little bit less, which kind of dovetails with the fact that they're very fast growing. And that plan is still being processed by the redistricting office. Third thing, and I know this is outside the jurisdiction of the folks here, but I am a strong supporter of single-member districts for the entire state. West Virginia, next to New Hampshire, has the worst. If you look at in terms of the rest of the country, we're the sore thumb in terms of not having people accountable, but having multi-member districts. I live in the very worst ones, except for New Hampshire and the whole country, which is in Kanawha County, where we have a multi-member district of 7 people. It was even worse several decades ago. We actually elected 13 delegates at large. So we made a little bit of improvement. But if I can find a legislative sponsor, I would like to come up with a single-member district plan just to show how it would look. If I can get a legislative sponsor, I would like to submit that. Thank you.
Yes, I thought I would have a question here.
Okay.
My original question is probably, I'm a little confused now. When you started out, you said that, I understand you're redistricting the state and the counties for the state legislators. But 3 different people now from the audience have said that this is going to be congressional, and there seem to be under the understanding that the northern panhandle and the eastern panhandle, is being talked about being put together in one congressional district. Is that not a possibility? I mean, you said you haven't decided yet, but that seems to be the input from the people that are thinking that. And why are we all thinking that you're wanting to change our congressional districts?
Well, I'm not sure why people are thinking that, but with redistricting, the legislature's charged to do senatorial redistricting and also the House of Delegates redistricting. But we also collectively, as a state legislature, draw the congressional districts as well. So it's
why does that even up for grabs? Why does that even have to change?
because of the population. Right now, it's out of whack in the sense of the southern lost people.
Okay, I think we have an easy solution for that with one county, though.
Well, I mean, that's one solution that's been talked about, and there's other ideas as well as far as compactness.
And why are we not getting those proposed to us?
Well, because we don't have anything officially. The only map that we ever received was from Thornton Cooper on our first meeting. We haven't even convened yet and talked as a body. It's just individual public members. And what they're referring to is the meeting that was over in Eastern Panhandle. We had a meeting last Wednesday over in Eastern Panhandle similar to this. This is one of 12. This is the second one. And the people in the Eastern Panhandle was very clear that it doesn't make sense for them to be part of Charleston. I mean, they're absolutely adamant about it. Maybe you all don't want them to be part of this panhandle. That's your alternatives. But I'm just saying that they don't want to be part of Charleston. They're not saying they want to be part of the northern panhandle. They just say that it just looks odd. That somewhere you have to drive 5.5, 6 hours just to get from one side to the other. And in Eastern Panhandle, we can be in 5 or 6 different state capitals faster than we can get into our own state capital.
I don't think the people in Hancock County would agree that they can be in Jefferson County in less time.
Well, I'm not saying that that's a proposal. I mean, that's why we're here. If you don't want to, I mean, we're listening. If you don't want to be part of the Eastern Panhandle, then of course that's what you need to avoid.
Okay, well, then my question goes back to something you said when you opened. After you have all your meetings through the end of July, we're going to put your proposals on the internet, and you're going to vote by August or something. You said, does this have to be done before we elect a new governor?
Yes. Yeah.
Why? Is
Because-
that the state constitution that this has to be done?
Because it has to be done before the opening of the primary, the candidates in January.
Okay, so it does not have to be done before the governor is elected in
Well,
November,
in order to give the counties the map drawers, we have to pass legislation as quickly as possible so that they can then implement that and put it down there, because come January, everybody's gonna have to know where they live in order to file for office. If we wait until November for the new governor to take office and wait until December, that gives them 30 days to make that happen, which is going to be nearly impossible when you have Christmas and New Year's. I mean, I don't know, I'm not speaking for the county officials, but if we wait, the longer we wait, the more of a problem it is for them. And by the 2012 election, we have to have this done.
Okay, so the more transparent this process is, and with the least number of changes, such as changing congressional districts for just moving one county instead of, say, 5 or 10, and moving the northern and eastern panhandles together, I can see where the map people might have a problem with that. If you're moving one county from Mason to one district to another, it might be a little easier, and he might be able to do it in less time.